all the videos. Denmark here, it was they shoot him 10 times or something even after he gave up. I mean, I don't think he really gave up. He died. You know? And they still shot bullets into him. While he was like lying down there, lifeless after he was already shot, they decided to shoot some more bullets in him. So, I don't know what training they've gotten, but I don't think that's a part of their training, is, you know, shooting corpses on the ground. But that, again, like, maybe their training has changed. Common sense tells you not to show up to interfere. I mean, common sense tells me if I was in the United States that I was protected under the First Amendment, that I can actually stand still, not be threatening and use my phone. But apparently that is not allowed anymore in the United States because there's no First Amendment. So, because apparently that is completely out of the window now. But again, you guys know this, but you still want to rage bait, which is up to you. If you want to do that, that's your own decision. But you know your rights better than me, right? You know what rights you have. You also know that the main thing that ICE agents should do in situations like that is de-escalate, right? Not escalate the situation, but de-escalate the situation. But of course you know this already. I don't need to teach you this. You know this already. But you're willingly ignorant because this is your side of the aisle. You want to justify the murder. You want to justify this because your big orange leader said that this is a good thing. People are allowed to legally observe, just don't impede, but they don't care and will kill you. He had a gun, which is completely allowed to. You're allowed to conceal carry if you have a permit in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is not a debate, Nihil. Like, I have no interest in that. You kind of misunderstood. A lot of people are misunderstanding that this is somehow a debate. No. This live is not about a debate. Donald is the best. Donald is really good when it comes to like destabilizing your own country and the world. 100% agree with that. The word justify is a good description of MAGA. ICE being unconstitutional is not a debate. ICE would be okay if they followed due process and like, you know, they were trained a bit better. Rene didn't have a gun. That is true. They don't care. They have full immunity, as per J.D. Vance, Stephen Miller, and Donald Trump. So, you know, they can kind of do what they want. They shot another man today. Exactly. And that is what we've been discussing already. You're unqualified to speak on training, sir. No, I'm not. But we can have a discussion, though. It's probably about time to start thinking about exercising your Second Amendment. Fuck the police. Yeah, I've been waiting for that. We the people stand with Trump and ICE. A place to pick games, wins to pick prizes. Okay, that's kind of wild. Artemis, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I've been kind of waiting when the Second Amendment loonies wake up and start practicing their Second Amendment rights, because clearly the government is running wild, and the Second Amendment was literally made because then you can form a militia and fight tyrannical government. So disgusting. I agree, Bobby. I agree 100%. Hopefully you're good, because I know you've been in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I hope you're safe and good. Myosaurus Rex, thanks to follow. I didn't cheer when what happened to Charlie Kirk, because I value life. My fire is when we go all see the different angles to which, but they go live and blatantly lie. I mean, we can all see the different angles. And once you watch the lady in pink angle, if you still say that it's justified, you fucking lost it. You are clearly blind and you don't have eyes. So it's either one of them. Suomalainen, yeah. I'm at least happy to hear you understand our Second Amendment. Well, fuck yeah. It's my interest to follow news and like countries other than my own. It's been my thing for years. Susan and Dolly, thanks for the follow. Unfortunately, my streams previously, before Trump started to fuck things up, like within like the last few months, my streams used to be covering things happening around the world. But now it's just hyper-focused on this bullshit. Because it's like every day, every fucking day, they just one-up their self. Django, Sonic, Xander, Sean the Goalie, and Milo, thanks for the follow. Thanks for your true words from Boston, USA. Boston, Massachusetts, one of my favorite places to potentially one day move. But I think I need to wait until things calm down a bit before I move there. I'm an atheist and I love Charlie Kirk, such a shame. Like, I don't want anyone to be murdered. How fucking hard is that to say, like, as a decent human being? I don't want anyone to get murdered or assassinated or fucking attacked with drones or fucking carpet bombed or... Followed you, thanks for the same conversation. Thanks, Malosaurus, Rex. America, the Fourth Reich. That is kind of unfortunate. Especially when they don't deserve it in the slightest. Yeah. Like, even in the Rene Good situation, like, the murder of Rene Good, like, it was... I followed conversations, like, Finnish and Irish law enforcement officers saying that how fucking trigger-happy are the US law enforcement officers, because the first reaction to that sort of a situation for them is draw a weapon and shoot 3 times. And in here, in Ireland and in Finland, that would be like all the way at the bottom. Technically, you need to get hit before you do that. A US police officer or a law enforcement officer would never fucking shoot through a window from a moving, inside a moving car. Fucking no way in hell. That conversation compared to like European police officers and US trigger-happy fucking cowboys, that comparison is like crimming if you see those. But this is something a lot of people in the US don't see because they're so hyper-focused on things that are happening inside their own country that they can see that what is happening inside US is not normal. It is fucking not normal to the first thing to justify murder and celebrate when your fellow citizen is dead and has been killed. That is not normal behavior. Oh, because he was a Democrat, he deserved it. Fuck around and find out, right, bitches? No, that is not normal behavior. It's your fellow citizen. Killed by a fucking trigger-happy, untrained ICE agent. Celebrating that is not like... What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you have Finnish ancestry? I'm Finnish. Like Charlie Kirk. Exactly like Charlie Kirk. He was trained. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Sure about that. Yeah. Hey, Green Heart, thanks for the follow. Yeah. The training for police in USA takes around 6 months. In Finland, it takes 3 years. Aussie lives always. The government is telling ICE to do it and protecting them. Carderix, thanks for the follow. Don't bring gun to a protest. Unfortunately, Candyman, for you, concealed carry is allowed in Minneapolis. Are you saying that you're gonna limit the Second Amendment rights of the US citizens? I thought Second Amendment right was something you don't want to touch. I thought this was like a no-go for right-wingers. It's like, Second Amendment rights are sacred, and you can never change them. I think instead of like warning about bringing guns, you should warn not to bring phones because ICE agents are treating phones the same as guns. Thanks for calling the behavior out. That administration is trying to stabilize for takeover. The NRA are just ICE agents now. The Dems are paying many agitators too. Where the fuck is my money? But no. Actually, vandalizing property, invading buildings and like crashing into churches, that is not okay for me. Peaceful protest, using your First Amendment right, I'm all for that. So immediately when you start to vandalize stuff, it kind of goes against what I believe. Unless you're doing a revolution. If you're doing a revolution, you can do what the fuck you want. I'm all for that. I've been rooting for so many revolutions in 2025. Like I could use one more. Robin, thanks for the follow. Like, I was rooting for the revolution in Iran. Last year I was rooting for Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Madagascar, Peru. I've been rooting for so many revolutions because when citizens and people of a country are unsatisfied how the government is ruling and they are literally running the country as like dictators, I'm all for revolution. What the fuck are you bringing Venezuela here? Like, US literally just invaded Venezuela. That's not a revolution. That's invasion. Living the dream, thanks for the follow. There is no right or wrong. It's whatever you can get away with. Force and no mouse. Who? What? Helicopter spy, thanks for the follow. Oh, who cares? Well, I do. I care about human life, but apparently you don't. No one is being paid to. I mean, can there be? Probably. Are there? I don't know. But I do know a lot of normal citizens who are there without getting paid. Dudley, thanks for the follow, and Rose and Cats as well. You didn't want a revolution in Venezuela. No, if the citizens started it. But unfortunately, United States went there and stole their dictator. Well, not a dictator. A dictator, I was supposed to say leader. And they still stole their national resources and they're going to decide who's going to lead the country. So that's not a revolution. If the citizens did a revolution and the United States didn't meddle with them, all for that. All for that. All for that. No, you don't. If you did, you would support ICE and what happened in Venezuela. I don't support what happened in Venezuela. US has no fucking say in foreign countries' business. Regime change has never worked. And never will. He wasn't protesting. He was using his First Amendment right to film. No one stole anything. Yes, they did. They already did it. Maduro told Trump to come and get him and not to take too long. We already did what we did in Venezuela and Iraq. And yeah, and all the right-wingers and all the fucking bots said the same thing back in like 2004 about Iraq, and also after that in Libya and Syria and Afghanistan, that the people are celebrating, the people are happy. And look what they are now. Look what they are now. First of all, you're super happy that the liberators are coming, even though that was also masqueraded as a lie from the people who are actually funding the war, that people are celebrating. And look where they are now. So when people say that the Venezuelans are super happy and celebrating, and all of a sudden now they're actually hunting people who are citizens of the United States, or even like supporting Trump, because that's a retaliation when you have a foreign country doing invasion, they're not going to be happy. Like, it's always going to be controlled by the United States. Like in Iran, especially. Like, distraction from Epstein. Wow, a guy from Finland is giving us advices. Maybe you should listen and learn something. Apparently, people haven't learned anything from history. Everything Trump has done, we have seen throughout the history. Like, if we go back in history 100 years, everything Trump is doing, we're seeing the same thing. It's almost like a best of the best hits of past 100 years. But he's doing it in 2026, which is wild that people are celebrating and rooting. And yeah, Trump needs a bit of Lebensbaum. Yeah, 100%. Some living space. National security. Make America great again, or was it Germany great again? Oh, this group is completely evil and they are the root cause of all of your misery. They are the reason why the rents are high, why the housing crisis is going, and they are the reason why the affordability is so bad. They are raising this group of people are the demons, and you should hate them, even though we are the ones that are fucking you behind the scenes. It's the same playbook over and over and over again. Greenland or Iceland, yeah. And this is something people don't want to hear, because they are being controlled. They are being completely fucking controlled. Yeah, Clinton is 100% in the Epstein files. So is Trump. Everybody who's in the Epstein files should be fucking thrown in jail. I don't fucking care. At this point. It's called drinking the Kool-Aid. It's not left versus right, it's right versus wrong. Yeah, learning from history. Like, it's just fucking... We've seen what a mass surveillance on citizens do. We've seen what a secret police do. When you give full immunity, you just need to go and see what happened in Soviet Union, and you need to go and see what happened in Germany. If you give full immunity and full authority to your own police, or secret police in this case, we've seen that in the past. Trump is getting rid of everybody who's not a loyalist. You don't think we've seen that in the past? Stalin did that. Even Hitler did that. Every single fucking dictator in the past 100 years have done the same. Oh, this senator is talking shit about me. He's the worst of the worst, and he shouldn't even be in politics, and he's never gonna be in politics. He's getting rid of his own party members and making sure they are not re-elected because they are not loyalists. Who the fuck do you think has also done that in the 100-year history that we're now comparing? Every single fucking dictator, pick one, have surrounded themselves with loyalists, and everyone who isn't a loyalist getting booted. So, read a fucking book. Yep, English here. Scary times. We've seen this before and we have learned from the past and healed, but this is starting up again. America would rather argue than know the truth. False comparison. How? How is that a false comparison? You're weaponizing your justice system. But then again, like, this is a bit of an issue with the US like how the US politics is structured, because you're creating this like possible scenario by having one person at the top that has so much power. If you get rid of that, if you just made that, like, let's say Congress and like the Senate and the justice system, like the Department of Justice, would have checks and balances for each other. You don't have like ultimate power on your president. You wouldn't have this issue. He isn't Russian. Who the fuck said I'm Russian? I'm not Russian. We do have checks and balances. No, you fucking don't. Trump has thrown every single check and balance away. And even in the Biden administration, they did the same. And even in Obama administration. Like, every single president, the first thing they do is surround every single fucking branch with loyalists. It's not a Trump... This is not a, like, Trump-only issue. Every single president has done that. Yeah, we were supposed to have checks and balances, but the notion of checks and balances that we had is being proven false. Like, for doing illegal stuff. What are we talking about? Cat went further, thanks for the follow. You sound Scandinavian. Close enough. Have you seen the new incident of ICE killing another civilian? Oh my fucking god! Like, are we talking about the? Okay, we've been talking about for a good hour or so about the most recent killing, which happened a few hours ago. There is some background noise playing and it's getting annoying. Ah, sorry. I have a news coverage going. I can mute that. There you go. Why are you talking about this? Because a human life was lost by an incompetent ICE agent. Well, two. Well, actually, there was 10 of them. So I would put the blame on every single one of them. Interesting, I understand, and you confirm Finland is Nordic, but not Scandinavic. That's why I said Scandinavia is close enough. But yeah, we're Nordic. Are you from this country? From. Because we, the people, enjoy truth. 60 states ban weapon at protesting, especially near government buildings. What happened in that dog pile? Shots were fired. 60 states. 60 states. What is 60 states? Make sure you don't change your narrative when the info comes out about that guy getting shot today. Yeah, like, murder is murder. Like, a life was lost. I don't see any justification for that. There were so many ice agents on him. There were so many ICE agents on him that they should have handled that without death. And if you can't admit that, you are probably a part of a cult. I'm sorry to break the news for you, but if you can't admit that 10-ish ICE agents should have handled that without death, you're probably a part of the cult, sorry. Can we agree with that? No. Like, there was over 10 ice agents around him. I think 7 on top. 7 or 8 on top. And they still murdered him. No, you have no idea what you're talking about. I do. I do have. And that's why it's so frustrating. The first shot was literally point blank from an ICE agent. Before the first shot was fired, he was disarmed. His gun was taken from the holster. And stop that saying a life was lost. A life was fucking lost. Human being was killed. That is a fact. A human life was lost because ICE agents, plural, shot multiple bullets on a human being. That is a fucking fact. That is a fact. A person who was holding his phone. How is that a criminal, Rob? He wasn't a threat. He wasn't doing anything illegal. He was using his First Amendment rights. How was that a criminal? He was holding his phone, filming the ICE agents. not like not intervening with their investigation in any way. Actually, quite far away because the ICE agent needed to close. Yeah, resisting arrest. Do you think resisting arrest warrants when you, especially when there's 10-ish ICE agents on you? Does that warrant to be killed? Does that warrant? Is that the death penalty? You have 10 people on you, and that's a justification for killing. You think so? He was pepper sprayed. Where the fuck do we know that he wasn't like moving because he couldn't fucking breathe? He was pepper sprayed from point blank before the wrestling started. Have you seen the video? Have you seen the video where they pepper sprayed point blank him in the face? If you haven't. And have you ever been pepper sprayed in the face? It's kind of hard to breathe in those moments. So there's a lot of things we don't know yet. Other than, yeah, he was taken down by multiple ICE agents on top of him. And they still decided to shoot him. Yes, people get panic when they get pepper sprayed in the face. Oh yeah. The question is understanding the permit. The permit does not allow you to post the office certain venues. And you claim it's murder with no actual evidence, and it shows your obvious bias. Yeah. The ICE agents willingly pulls a gun, points it at the person, shoots a bullet, and then they shoot the corpse at the end. Even though there were already ICE agents on him, and they should have overpowered the victim and put some handcuffs on him if they wanted to detain him. Instead, he decided to pull a weapon and shoot the guy. It could be just, coincidence, misfire. It could be an accident. But the next and the next and the next bullet, those weren't accidents. Healing, love, and light, thanks for the follow. I mean, the ICE agent, you guys haven't really paid attention for this story at all, right? The ICE agents took his gun away before they shot the first shot. You haven't really followed this story at all, right? Like, people are making a lot of claims. You clearly haven't really followed the story, right? I think, is this 100% confirmed that they had taken his gun from him? I mean, we have video footage of the ICE officer running away with the gun. And to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if the ICE agents didn't have body cams. Because if we remember, Kristi Noem said that they didn't have the budget to buy everybody body cams. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have their body cams on. And also, if they did, do we see the footage? Because they were already stealing phones from people who were there, and also taking witnesses to their detention centers. So can we really trust ICE at this moment to do an unbiased investigation? I can check if I can show you that part. So here we can see the ICE agent pushing this lady like this. Then he went to intervene, and now he gets pepper sprayed. Because he saw ICE agent using excessive force against a female protester, he intervened and got pepper sprayed. Of course, I can show that to TikTok because that is a bit too much violence for TikTok to see. It's wild. Like, could somebody who actually justifies this explain to me that how do you think that it's justified that your law enforcement agents, officers, whatever you want to call them, when they outnumber a person 10 to 1, they disarm a person and then they shoot that person? How is this justified? How do you justify that? And why are you happy that a person died? Lucky7, thanks for the follow. Okay, why are you happy that a person died? Person was killed. Why are you happy about that? No. Let's stay on topic. Why are you happy about that? I want to hear what's the argument here. Why are you emotional? A person died needlessly for no fucking reason. And people are cheering in Twitter, people are cheering in social media, and even in my comments, people are saying that this is justified. Good thing, fuck around and find out. Of course I'm fucking emotional about it. I hate when people die. What the fuck is that? You should be angry if you're in the United States. There is no fucking justification. The law enforcement officers should protect US citizens, not kill them. And this was again a case where a federal agent was a bit too trigger happy. A bit too eager to kill. Of fucking course I'm devastated. Emotional. Just like I'm devastated that the Israeli government is carpet bombing fucking Palestinians, children and women. Over 40,000 children and women has died in Palestine. If you're not like angry about that, you're a fucking monster. You can't Stinson say in the same sense that it's tragic, no doubt, but better listen when they told what to do. That literally makes no sense. But hey, just comply. Whatever the government agent wants you to do, just comply. When they want to take away your guns, just comply. When they want to mass surveillance you, just comply. When they want to ask your IDs with breaking your constitutional rights, just comply. Remember that. We will remember this. All the right-wingers and MAGAs who are saying now, just comply. When they are stepping their game up, we remember this. Riley, thanks for the follow. Kalja Kuppila, thanks for the roses. Just comply. Just like the ICE agents are just following orders, you know? Just comply and follow orders. There will be a Nuremberg 2.0. I hope, like, just based on like what Russia is doing in Ukraine and what Israel is doing in Palestine, there should be a Nuremberg 2.0. I think the United States government should use military force against ICE agents. If we want to be consistent, you know, because Trump threatened to use military force in Iran if the Iranian government did anything for the protesters there. So just to be consistent, I think Trump should use military force on the ICE agents, dropping some bombs at the offices of the Department of Homeland Security. If we want to be consistent. If you're willing to help the protesters in Iran, you should be eager to help the protesters in your own country, right? Right? Yeah, let's just fucking nuke the ICE agents, just like we threatened to nuke the Iranian government. Because we need to protect the protesters, right? Yeah. Let's be consistent. Let's not fuck around. It's comments like this. ICE 2 protesters 0. That sounds like Trump thinking. ICE kills a man with a felony warrant with an illegal firearm. Do we have any evidence of that claim? Do we have any evidence of that claim? Let's see. MC Vasquez said that the man had a felony and an illegal firearm. So let's see if that's true. He was an ICU nurse. I doubt he had a felony. Yeah, but it's good when MAGA idiots come and make those claims to fact check this. So just a second, we are fact checking this. Yeah, because I already read like before the stream that the person didn't have a criminal record, like a proper criminal record. No criminal record. And a lawful permit to carry holder. Oh. Well, that was down the drain then, Miss Vasquez. So, the Shadow Realm with you. I hate when people do that, you know, spread bullshit. So yeah, no criminal record and a permit to carry. So, oh, that was kind of sad. That was kind of sad. Yeah, I see you, male nurse. I mean, magazine always like, stop us obsessing and just come up with a political opponent platform and vote. Makes for great entertainment. I mean, yeah, it would be fun to have like AI bot in the chat in like general, like both fact checking my statements and also fact checking everybody else. I think there's like tools for that, and I think I might at some point use those because I think that should be the way we use AI. And of course, like one of my wishes is at some point when politicians make speeches and talk, there would be an AI fact checking everything they say. For example, if you mix up Greenland and Iceland, for example, that should be the thing that we should be using AI for, is fact checking politicians. You just claimed ICE murdered the guy with no actual evidence and don't act like you care about facts or evidence now. I mean, they did murder him. Those are my thoughts. I totally agree. I mean, yeah, like any politician shouldn't have any outside financial interests. So when you become a politician, whether you become a senator or whether you become an MP in Ireland or whether you become president or anything, you should have no outside financial interests. If you have, get the fuck out. Just sit here with an AI and say you're the wrong. This guy doesn't know anything. Lol, just what? Oh my fucking god. There's so many idiots today. What up in Humane Society? How you doing, my fellow New Yorker? Trump is 34th time convicted felon, maybe. A lot of anger. Lots of trolls equals lots of fears. I mean, we should all be like uniting together. This is not a normal society to live in. We have a ruthless leader that is willing to invade allies and threaten allies, invade countries, steal their national resources, be happy about regime change. And then what he does on his own soil is almost as worse. So we should be quite like pissed off about it. I will fly to the United States if you decide to do a revolution. I will fly to the United States and join you. Even though I'm not a US citizen, but I can just join you. Just to show like my allegiance to the protesters. If you decide to do a proper revolution in the United States, I will fly there. We are in a revolution, my friend. If you're a liberal, you should be able to act any way you want against the federal law enforcement with zero repercussions. Other countries do not have liberals and blah blah. We criticize bad shit and encourage good shit. 100%. Like, we just like a few streams ago, I was talking about that atrocities that Obama did. You do remember the ice cages for children. Like, if you're a... Okay, here's a bit of a news flash for people who are in a cult and also other people's. If you want to know if you belong in a cult, this is a good check to do. If your cult leader or the person you idolize does something stupid, can you call out that stupidness? Or do you get mad when somebody else calls out that stupid thing that they did, or if they lied? If you can do the first one, you might be not in a cult. But if you select the second one and you get mad because somebody else calls out their bullshit, you're in a cult. Congratulations. Now you need to figure out how to get the fuck out of it. Yeah, I live in Ireland at the moment, but I'm Finnish. Yeah, it's about rich versus poor. 100%. No, not Sweden. No, Bob. Don't call me Swedish then. I'm not a Democrat, so talking about Kamala Harris and Biden doesn't really do anything. I don't think Biden was a good president, and Kamala was a horrible candidate. So what's your next attack? Again, when I call out your cult leader, instead of like admitting that they're doing something shitty, you deflect and move the goalpost somewhere else. Unfortunately, Critical 509, you belong into a cult. Sorry about that. I feel bad for you. Yeah, ouch, Swedish. That is bad. That is the worst thing to call a Finnish person is Swedish. Check out the latest protest in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. Again, Critical 509, deflecting. What a cult member. Good job. Europeans are funny. They always pretend to have the high ground even when they're sinking faster than everyone else. Mr. E, you kind of understand that. The only like, if you think that EU is sinking, you're listening to Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Like, no, EU isn't sinking. So good luck with that. I'm French Irish. I'll be soon Finnish Irish. So, a universal declaration of basic human rights was the greatest achievement of the 20th century. Don't let them destroy it. Inhuman Society, do you have a link for the protest in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem? Oh, here we go. The Times of Israel. I should have read. I believe that's fine. It's just a joke between Swedish and Finns. That is true. That is true. Jao says thanks for the follow. Just like you think you know about the USA. I do know about the USA, you know? Quite a lot. Irish British. I think that's even worse than being Finnish Swedish. Finnish Irish or Irish Finn? Well, because I live in Ireland, I would probably put Irish first. So I would be an Irish Finn. Undernehemen Valkyrie, thanks for the follow. The only thing you know is that what she told, facts don't matter to you. I mean... No, don't feel bad about calling me Swedish. It was a joke. Thousands protest the government, demand return to Ron Quilly's body at demonstrators across Israel. Thousands of protesters are gathered throughout the country to demonstrate against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his government for the return of the remains of the final hostage police master Sergeant Ron Quilly. In Tel Aviv's Habima Square, the banners, posters, and flags held by the hundreds-strong crowd appears focused on a variety of issues, ranging from the government's attempt to weaken the High Court of Justice to the plight of missing Ethiopian Israeli children. Nah, fuck no. Okay, if there's a protest in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, I need to go there then. I'm one of those guys who wants to see the government of Israel tumble. So I need to fly to Israel. I'm a Dutch. They won't let you in. Yeah, probably won't. You won't get in. You think so? I've called Benjamin Netanyahu a war criminal, and I'm constantly talking about the suffering of Palestinians. And yeah, fuck no, I'm not getting in like Jerusalem or Tel Aviv. That's one of the countries probably never, which is sad because there's a lot of rich history. Like we're talking about thousands of years ago history in that area that I really want to go and like see. Just like in Syria and in Iran and in Jordan and all of those places. There's so much history, and also Lebanon and Pakistan. I would really want to go there. Unfortunately, it's not that safe to go there at the moment. Check it, thanks for the follow. The news are not telling the truth about what's going on in Israel. I guarantee you Europeans know more about American history than Americans know about European history, the education system. Vanilla, that is so true. But what I've learned talking to various different European, from various different nationalities inside Europe, and we all share one similar trait, is when we read news, it is common for the Europeans to read news from our neighboring countries or other European countries because we want to stay educated, we want to stay aware. So, because Europe is like constructed of 60 countries, I think, about 50, 60 countries, which is almost the size of the United States. Well, the United States is kind of bigger though, but it has 50 states. So, when we take that mindset and land that on United States, it is easier for us to scan through the 50 states because we've done that already in Europe. But in the United States, they are only scanning themselves in their own state and maybe one or two more states. So when they don't have that sort of like upbringing and education of like viewing the world politics as a whole. Does that make sense? But it is something that us Europeans do quite often, is reading news. I read Hindustan Times all the time. I read news from China and Japan and Bangladesh and Philippines and fucking Egypt and Algeria and Brazil and Argentina and Chile, and like I'm just fascinated about news. Manuki, thanks for the follow. No, but we have 4 points of national news, unfortunately, beginning to be monopolized. Yeah. I mean, they can give you a good starting point of the news, but after that, you need to like derail your discovery quite fast to a different news source. I wouldn't take what CNN, ABC, NBC, and Fox say as a like as the whole truth. You can start there, but you're gonna need to do a bit more digging if you want to have a wider view of the issue. NPR, yeah. When a boy is trying to talk to a girl, but you turn around and you are her dad. I have 2 daughters, so I'm kind of looking forward to like, you know, the first candidates. I'm 6'3", 225. So it's not a nice sight. Only New York, California, and Chicago are crowded. The European conquest never added. I think US are taught to think inwardly. Yeah, Europeans are taught to think outwards. In England, I was taught English, French, and German. That was in a primary school. I would like a comment in live. This comment is the one I'd like. Vast emptiness is in the Midwest. Bring your kids to the United States. We need more people like you. Our end goal. Okay, I'll give you. This is a good topic, and this is something I'm gonna. 6'3". Can you say it well in world measurements, not in oils and freedom? 190. 190 centimeters. I think that's the 6'3", right? Yeah. Ah, sorry, it's not actually. It's 6.2336. So it's actually 6'2.8 inches. Sorry, not 6'3". So I'm a faker. Where are you from? Finland originally. Look at London, UK. Wake up, USA. I mean, there's nothing wrong with London, though. I hear Finnish in your voice. Oh, yeah, I'm Finnish. Yeah, but bring your kids to the USA. We need more people like you. USA was mine and my wife's end goal, anyways. That was our end goal. Super fun streamer, thanks. Hashtag sauna. Like, we were always planning to move to one of those states that are on the list, like Massachusetts, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Colorado, New York, like one of those states. But unfortunately now, we need to put that on hold. And of course, Ireland is a fucking beautiful place, so we're gonna stay in Ireland at least until my older daughter moves away. Michigan is great. I've heard the same things as well. Minnesota is also great, even though there's a lot of shit going on in Minnesota at the moment. But Minnesota is one of the better states to go as a family. But I do like Ireland so much that I think like I'm applying my citizenship next year when I'm eligible. Because I do want to be Irish and I want to be here, pay my taxes and help the community. And especially I live in a town that has only 10,000 people living in it. But yeah, USA has always been not just like, I think it's more about the similarities with some European countries. For example, Massachusetts is so close to like Great Britain, and even the Scandinavian countries like Norway and Sweden. Like, there's not that many differences. Minnesota has a lot of Finns there and a lot of Nordics there. This is a part of history a lot of people don't understand. In the United States is like how many Nordics actually live in Minnesota. And also on the other side of the border in Canada, Thunder Bay, I think, is like on this other side of Minnesota in Canada. There's like cities and streets named after Finnish towns and Finnish people on both sides of the border. That's how Nordic it is. And it completely makes sense because like the weather and the climate there is completely the same. And during our civil war, you needed a lot of lumber workers. And that's literally what us Nordics do really well. I use horse shampoo and my hair got longer. I didn't. Actually, may I ask, why did you move away from Finland? We moved because we got a good job. We got good job offers, both me and my wife, and also because of our kids. Any Finn probably understands why. If you have children and you want to provide them the best opportunities you can provide, you do want to move into a country that is mainly speaking English. So your kids have more opportunities after they go to college and like all of that stuff, which is already being proven. Like my older daughter has gotten opportunities that she would have never gotten in Finland. So we were thinking about our kids, and that was the last part of the puzzle. Like, of course, we got a good jobs here, but then we wanted to think like, is this the best place for our kids? If Brexit didn't happen, we would have probably moved back to Northern Ireland, like in Belfast. But there's nothing wrong in Finland. Don't ever think that we moved away from Finland because there's something wrong. Finland is one of the best places to live. Hands down. 100%. Like, I have a lot of like multicultural friends, and when they ask, is Finland a good place to live? Every time I say yes. Even if you don't know the language, you will find a job in English. Finland is one of the best places in the world to live. Of course, you have a neighbor as Russians, but so there's a bit of scare there. But other than that, Roswell, thanks for the follow, and Clever as well. We have human rights. We just make sure our constitution survives. Hello, friend. Yes, I'm from Kansas City. What up, Kansas? Now I know you're smart. You know how good Finland is. Like 100%. Like, Finland isn't perfect. There are things in Finland that, especially now when you live outside of Finland, you see them more clearly. What up, Aishing? I'm doing fine. We didn't have opportunity in Finland, but we moved to USA. If you want to stay the rest of your life in Finland, you don't need to move anywhere. But if you want to provide your kids the most opportunities, an English-speaking country is way better. But Finland is not perfect, but Finland is one of the best countries to live in. Like, of course, us Finns, we are known as Debbie Downers, and like we always talk shit about our own country, but it is one of the best. But it has some old school stuff they still do, which might be shocking to a lot of like foreigners when they go to Finland. There's some like, I wouldn't call them traditions, but there are things that Finns do quite casually that a lot of foreigners might think that's kind of weird. What did you think of Finland not the PM speech praising Mark Carney? What did you think of Finland's not the PM speech praising Mark Carney? I mean, it takes a lot for a Finnish politician or Finnish president to talk against Donald Trump, because Finland is known for kind of licking the boot of Donald Trump quite a lot. Because we're a small country, after all, we need to remember that. So Finnish politicians are usually bootlicking Donald Trump because we want to keep good relations. And unfortunately, if you talk shit about Donald Trump or if you go against Donald Trump, well, he already put 10% tariffs on us because we were protecting Greenland. Finland is always in top 3 most happiest countries. Finland is also at the top, like in suicide rates. Maybe there's a connection there. May I ask what the difference between Finland, Norway, and Sweden are? There aren't that many differences between the countries. Language is the number one, but other than that, like culturally and everything, they're quite similar to each other. Norway is a bit different, like even compared Norway to Sweden and Denmark. Norway, it's hard to describe. The pay in Norway is way higher, but they do pay higher taxes as well. But that doesn't matter because they get paid so much. It's a more privatized country, but still they have the healthcare and everything like the same as in Sweden and Finland. But Norway is definitely the odd one out of the Nordic countries. But it is one of the, like, literally, Sweden, Norway, Finland, whatever you want to take, they're all just perfect. Even Denmark. We're grateful to you all for not sucking up the orange man. We are told Finnish people are the most happy in the world. Isn't Norway economy primarily based on oil? Yes, and natural gases. It's oil, natural gases, and also they use a lot of like hydro and windmills because they have all of those like sword. Oh my god, what's the Norwegian word for that? I know the Finnish word, vuono, which is like those little crevices in the border, like creating those. Oh my fucking god! Like the shoreline is all like looks like a saw. Fjord, yeah, fjord. They have a lot of fjords. That's the one. Thanks, Jutta. So it's optimal for hydroelectricity and also windmills. Fjord, yeah. But Norway has a lot of oil and natural gases as well. There is a few angles that shows officers unarmed the man before it. Yeah. Which is the best healthcare of the region? I think it's not Finland anymore. I would say Sweden or Denmark. Finland used to be. But yeah, Sweden or Denmark. Finland used to be the best, but a few governments fucked it up. They privatized it too much. They removed like so many nurses and doctors and even hospitals on the public side. So they fucked up the whole public healthcare system to the point that they are literally just providing money and customers for the private sector. But I would say, yeah, Sweden or Denmark are probably the best on the region. That letter, email, text Trump sent to Norway was truly crazy. Yeah, oh my fucking god. That was one of the... I mean, I hope he was... I mean, he doesn't drink or do drugs, but I hope he was high on drugs and drunk when he sent that letter to the Norwegian Prime Minister. Eki, thanks for the follow. Wealth care. So Finland sucks compared to what? What? No. Like, I said that Finland used to be the number one healthcare in the region among the Nordic countries. But because the past few governments have fucked up the healthcare system so badly that I think that Sweden and Denmark has the best healthcare system at the moment. It used to be Finland. Mario, thanks for the follow. So that's the comparison. Why Sweden never argued about Greenland with Denmark? Jumma, tää TikTokin alkoi on hyvä. Ennusta mistä puhut ja miksi ne livet videoihin. What? Do you see a system that would work in the America? I don't think there's a healthcare system that would work as a whole. State-wise, yes. Liblu, thanks for the follow, and that Lost Stock, thanks for the follow as well. State-wise, like for example, what they're doing in New Mexico and in New York, which is like universal free childcare. They can better their healthcare state-wise, because like states are the size of European countries, like majority of the European countries. Let's say like Colorado has 5.5 million people living in the state of Colorado, which is almost the same size as Finland and Ireland. So comparing our healthcare systems to the state of Colorado makes sense. Of course, our GDP is more than the state of Colorado, though. Rabbit hole, here we go. But definitely, like, they could try. In Europe, we can both love countries, but still keep our critical thinking about them. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, there are nationalists, like ultra-nationalists in Europe as well. But majority of our, like, us are like critical thinkers. Like, criticizing our government, especially the leaders. We don't have that cult mentality. Unfortunately, of course, like, populism and right-wing populism has been coming to the surface for the past 16 years in Europe, in Britain, for example, and here in Ireland as well, and in Finland and in Sweden. So, among populists, they don't criticize their leaders. They are literally following the playbook, what the United States is doing, and also, like, well, just copying everything. Robin, thanks for the heart, and also a tiny line of silver, thanks for the heart and rose. Colorado is twice richer than Finland. Really? Well, then definitely they could do. Colorado GDP compared to Finland. I didn't know that. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Why the fuck they don't have free healthcare for everyone? It's literally like almost 3 times as large. Eat right, love more, and you will never need healthcare. Thank you, LM, for like proving that I'm wrong. Like, I'll accept that. I'll accept that. And I admit that I was wrong. Colorado's GDP is almost fucking 3 times as big as Finland. So, especially now, why wouldn't they try a healthcare system like Finland? Makes no fucking sense. Maybe that's why it's so good. Yeah, true, true. Colorado is beautiful. Go Colorado. I visited Finland last summer and I loved it. I hate Finland in the summer. Is it Norway? Like, I love Finnish winters. It's so much easier to breathe. I like the cold weather. Like, Finnish summers, they're dry, like really, really dry. There's almost no moisture anywhere. And because of the pollen. And I'm allergic to pollen, so in Finland, the pollen season starts like late April and it lasts all the way to October. And during that period of time, every year, for like 33 years, I couldn't breathe. And I moved to Ireland. The pollen here is completely different, and I can finally breathe normally. I haven't taken any allergy medicine for the time I've been in Ireland. But in Finland, because the dryness of the weather and the pollen being spread with the winds, like literally everything is green and yellow from the pollen from the trees. And I just can't breathe. Oh, you're from Arizona. That makes sense then. Who tax more in Nordic countries? I would say Norway, right? No. Because we need to differentiate what tax. We can't just say as a blanket statement tax, because there's so many. There's different VAT taxes, inheritance taxes. Like, there's so many different taxes in the Nordic countries. It's hard to properly differentiate, but I would say still Norway. Amount or percentages? Oh, good question. I know the income tax in Norway is quite high, but I don't think they tax the company. Oh, no, Ellen, wait a second. The income tax in Norway is quite high, but I don't think they tax their companies as much. So it actually might be Sweden or Finland. It's not Denmark. Or it's not Iceland as well. It's Denmark. Fuck. Okay, give me the top 5 then. Dick Smith, thanks for the follow. I'm about 23% in all my wages, which includes healthcare. That's actually decent. That's not bad. I'll take that any day. Give me the top 5 of the fucking Nordic countries then. Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, yeah. I would have put Denmark, like, on the bottom, though. Especially because they did all those changes a few years ago when it comes to, like, new businesses starting in the country and such, so they lowered the taxes on those quite a lot. But yeah, that kind of makes sense. What do you mean top 5? How many Nordic countries are there? Iceland is still considered a Nordic country. Right? Or has that been dropped away from the Nordic countries? Isn't Iceland? Yeah. Faroe Islands is in the country, though. Do you want to know how to stay alive? Stay home. Don't go defending illegal aliens. Frozen Meatballs have another good advice for you. You can't hear it because you're blocked, though. Sorry about that. Greenland or Iceland? Iceland. Iceland is a part of the Nordic countries, yes. Denmark, Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Iceland. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's why I said top 5, because I knew there were 5 Nordic countries. Where does Iceland go in that? If Denmark pays the most taxes, then Sweden, Norway, Finland, Iceland has to be at the bottom, right? Right? Nyt touhut nuoremmat voitit. I mean, checking. Iceland has, but they had the financial crisis, but they bounced back. So the private sector in both like real estate and banks fucked over Iceland, but that's like what, 15 years ago. Trump should buy Iceland. You mean Greenland? What percentage of your paycheck goes back to your government for taxes? What the fuck does it have to do with anything? There are 2 tax brackets in Ireland. I'm in the higher one. Iceland is at the bottom. How worried should we be now Trump has stressed on wanting Greenland again? He said it again in his speech today. Said he'll do it the easy way or the hard way. Fucking again. Alpine skiing or Nordic skiing? Nordic skiing. Because I have no healthcare and I pay 30%. I mean, like, Scotty APC, it depends. Like, we have progressive taxation here, a majority of the countries in Europe, which means that there's different tax brackets based on your income. So the 30% to 30 to 37% is like kind of wide. Same in UK, yeah. But in Ireland you have a progressive tax percentage, but it is not the same as in UK and in other countries as well. Trump should buy Iceland. I mean Greenland. Now I mean Faroe Islands. Or what was it? Small part, or was it Åland, or was it like? There's so many different. Well, Gestapo strikes again. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they fucking did. Sad times. A nurse. So there's the. I need to watch out because I don't want to see. So his hands are at the forward, yeah. His hands are in the front, yeah. Ice agents are holding his hands. There you go. Whoa there! We have a smoking gun here. So. Oh my god, we have a smoking gun here. Okay. I'm not gonna show you the video because like there's a new angle of it. And in this angle, we can see that first of all, the guy's hands are never reaching the gun because they are in front of him. Second of all, the guy is disarmed now. The man in the gray jacket disarmed the guy. And at this moment, the first gunshot is shot. There you go. So they disarmed the man and they shot him after. All right. Bring it on. Apologies. Apologies. Thank you. That was murder. People called me lunatic. He didn't grab their gun. His hands were like this in the front. He was held by ICE agents. That new angle shows that clearly. Although the lady in the pink jacket's angle also showed that. No, I can't because it shows an execution. It shows a killing of a person, and TikTok doesn't like that. It shows a murder. That's why I didn't show you a video. I showed you like snippets of it, what I watched. One, Republicans will actually cross Biden and defend NATO and impeach the bastard. Also, the video by the pink jacket lady clearly shows the ICE agent who shot the rounds. Yes. That's literally witness. Oh my fucking god, Ozempic. We saw in that video when they disarmed him, where the victim's hands were, and when the first shots were fired. The victim's hands were actually held by ICE agents in the front. After the gray jacket ICE agent took the gun, they shot the guy. You can go and watch it yourself. I can't show that in TikTok. You can go watch that yourself, Ozempic. And if you haven't watched that already, shut the fuck up. You don't know anything. Can I arrange sending professional police force trainers from Finland to the USA? I think they really need that. I think Nordic countries should send. I know a lot of, no, fuck you, you don't know anything. Go to the Shadow Realm. But yeah, Johannes, I actually agree with you. I think Nordic countries should send people like trainers to train ICE officers in the United States. Clearly, their training hasn't well, it isn't good. So, open shot case. As I stated in the beginning of the stream 2 hours ago, that a life was lost. A tragic murder that we witnessed. And after people called me crazy and a leftist lunatic and all of that fucking hate, now we have the clearest view of the victim didn't reach for his gun. He was disarmed before murdered. So it's murder. The shit has been happening for centuries, but it's just more apparent nowadays. Not open and shot in America, unfortunately. That is true. That is 100% true. The agent was literally a step away from the victim with his gun when the first round was shot. Yeah, literally, I think less than a meter away. Less than a meter away. I think people should just go there with cameras. Like, feel everything. This is just showing how willing people of the United States are just letting this lie. Letting their fellow citizens die. To be fair, standard police training is not great in the USA. That is unfortunately true. Well, I don't know about Chris to know him, but Stephen Miller already called it an assassin and also a domestic terrorist. So, yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath what Chris to know him is going to say. Are you Finnish, fucking liberal? Yes, I am. And 22, Capo, it's murder. Are you protecting that? Popo Chucky. I am Finnish. It was. Yeah, suomalainen, en ollut varma aksentista. They can't lie anymore. Everything is recorded. In times past, this murder would have gone unknown. Ja sama englanniksi. Oh yay, a Finnish person. I wasn't sure about your accent. Cold-blooded murder. It fucking was. Birdie, thanks for the follow. Okie dokie, guys. I'm gonna make a video about this. Even if you calculate the sound frame delays, only 1 to 2 frames. I'm gonna make a video about this. If I can ask you a favor, because TikTok doesn't really like me, because of the new admin of TikTok is American. Go watch that video and share that. I made a song about what's going on in the United States at the moment. And it's called Golden Reich. And it is talking about that we're reliving history and comparing Trump's regime to past regimes. You can play that on live.
We've seen this flag before, my friends, though stitched in different threads. A promise born of grievance, a future built of dread. A leader climbs the shouting crowd and swears he stands alone. Says only he can save the land, so truth becomes his own.
What up, Stevie? Hey, Pro Gamer, thanks for the follow. I'm from Germany and I have questioned, does the American like Trump or not? Half of them.
This is how the empire rises, not with fire, not with cheers, but with boots upon the doorstep and the slow arithmetic of fear. He didn't wear a swastika, he didn't need that sign. The empire learned new language and crossed another line. The chants were less explicit, the symbols rearranged, but the engine underneath it all remained exactly the same.
Mine.
This is how the empire rises, not with horns but
You can find the song in my TikTok page and also YouTube and Facebook. And it's kind of like fitting. Rick, thanks for the follow.
So sing it slow and sing it true, don't soften, don't pretend. An empire fell once
Rick, thanks for the follow.
and it can rise again. We've seen this.
It is taunting how similar things are going on and played out. And great song, man. I mean, it's I'm happy about it, but then again I'm sad, which is weird when you listen to your own song. that things are happening at the same time, the same as they happened 100 years ago. The song is great. Who is it? It's mine. I had never seen racism until I went to Florida in 2007. Do you support the plans for Greenland? Fuck no. Especially like I've been talking about this a lot in my lives, that the rhetoric, the imagery, everything is so similar to 100 years ago in Germany that if you can't see that, I highly recommend go and read scriptures and like novels and books and from the 1920s and 1930s Germany, and you can see it yourself. And I thought that this would never happen in the United States because there was always that gene, that willingness to fight the tyrannical government. But as we've now seen, once the tyrannical government is the ones that you're idolizing, you're all of a sudden on their side, making their jobs way easier, which is the same thing that happened in Germany. There was a man who promised that the people in Germany are now taking advantage of a group of people. I will make Germany great again. I will punish those who have treated Germany badly. I will make the military industry again great. We will ramp up our military production. We will ramp up, we need Lebensraum. We need more money. We will drive away the foreigners, the people who don't belong here, who are taking your jobs, who are taking your money, who are taking your food. And that is the reason why Germany is feeling bad. Does this sound familiar? If that sounds familiar, it's because we are living that again. Alex, thanks for the sub. I hope he's getting his revenge at the midterms. I hope he's, yeah. It's very similar. Like, well, it's not like it's dangerously similar. And we are at the moment, we say that we learned from the history. We say that it's never going to happen again. But it's already in motion. It's already in motion. Like, not just in the US, but also in Russia and in Israel. We already have people who are doing the same stuff around the world. And we have to remember, it wasn't just Germany. There was many things happening at the same time around the world during the 20s and 30s. History always repeats itself. Sorry to say that. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. Yeah. I hope people realize the similarities before it gets worse. Sad times. They are committing executions on the street and on camera, and the government is spinning lies. And people are cheering. People are giving in their fellow citizens. They are ratting their fellow citizens. They are scared of their like neighbors. Just like the Red Scare during the Cold War, just like people in Germany calling Gestapo about their neighbor or the business who is run by a Jew. Like, it's the same thing. People are just like calling ICE when they think they don't like somebody or they might be an immigrant. Just like they did during the Red Scare, just like they did in Soviet Union, just like they did in Germany. Didn't Bush create ICE? Isn't Bush the side you support? No. Bush is a war criminal. ICE is not the issue. It is the unchecked power that they have, the full immunity that they have, and the idiots they hired who clearly doesn't have enough training, committing crimes, trampling on constitutional rights, executing people on streets, going door to door, you know? ICE has been for over 20 years. The reason why it's an issue now is because they hired so many people there. They don't have enough resources to give them proper gear, proper training, and this is the result of it. And it might be done on purpose. It might be by design that they want their ICE agents to be completely incompetent to follow procedures. Because they might want chaos. They might want that. Because after all, it's easy to run your army on the streets when you have a reason to do that. I'm truly sorry you have to live through this there. I wish you all the best. I think it's by design. Video is showing that one ICE agent took the gun. Oh yeah. They did. The new angle of the murder is like, yeah. I think Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem should be fucking trialed and put to jail of their lies. Forget planned obsolescence. This is planned incompetence. Yes. Wouldn't work taking down Kristi because Trump will just protect them. Yeah, that is true, unfortunately. All right, guys. I thank everyone. There was a good chunk of people here today. At some point, there was 200 MAGA people in TikTok yelling at me that I'm a leftist retard, that I should fucking go back to my own country, even though I'm not in the United States, which is hilarious. Thank you for the stream. Thanks everyone who participated. Do you know the Mercosur project of the EU is so das we need in the EU new partners and the extra. Oh yeah, the farmer thing, the business deal with Brazil. I read about that. Hyvä setti. Hey, thanks everyone. Like, I honestly, we can disagree and we can disagree on economical policies. We can disagree with a lot of policies, but when it comes to human lives, I'm quite the absolute. I think human life is the most valuable thing. No one has the right to take your life other than yourself. And of course, time. So whenever there's death, especially this case where it's completely unwarranted, of course I'm going to react to that. I value human lives, whether it's Russians dying in the battlefield and Ukrainians die, whether it's Palestinian children and women dying, whether it's protesters in the United States getting gunned down by police, whether it's the Uyghur Muslims in China, whether it's Bangladesh students protesting and their prime minister decided to mow down 1,500 students in Bangladesh last year, or whether it's the Philippines dying on floods. I care about human life. Not like Elon Musk, who pretends to care about human life if it's white human lives. I care about human lives wherever you are, whatever your ethnicity is, whatever, like whoever you are. So, thanks, Tristan, for the sub. Why also thanks for the sub. I wish you a great rest of the Saturday. If you're on Sunday already, because I also have a lot of people watching from India, have a great rest of the Sunday. I will probably see you later on Sunday. Yeah. Stay safe if you're in the United States, if you're in Minnesota especially. And in everywhere else. It's going to be a cold night, so. Until next time. Until we, like my favorite anime character Goku said, until we meet again, friends. Take care, guys.